to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kimmie and this is my attic, and today we are on part 6 of my nickel allergy journey series, all about the eyeshadow. Why is that even a thing? Because if you have this allergy, chances are eyeshadow will be the most problematic thing for you when it comes to makeup. And the reason for that is I am going to explain it to you in the video. But first of all, two things. Yes, the fall is upon us and I am so excited because it is my favorite time of year. This is by no means my setup for the fall. This is just something I threw together. In fact, I am planning something like kind of big for October for this channel. I know I'm very new at this. I have a very small channel, but I love October. I love the fall. I love Halloween. I really love doing YouTube, and so I have decided that I am going to be doing something kind of special for October. So I'll get more into that in another video. But for this video, I do want to talk about eyeshadow when you have a nickel allergy, but I do want to mention one other thing. This is kind of it is about having a nickel allergy. It's not exactly about eyeshadow, but recently I posted a blog. And in that blog, I told a story. I'll tell it to you very quickly. When I was first diagnosed, I remember the dermatologist came in the room. It is not the dermatologist that I have now. It was the dermatologist that I first saw, and she took one look at me and she said, "Oh, you have a makeup allergy. Someone's not going to be wearing makeup anymore, la la la, whatever." And that was basically what she said. Now, I understand, as we all understand, that not being able to wear makeup is certainly not the end of the world. And most people have bigger problems. You yourself have bigger problems, even if this is one of your problems. You know it, I know it. However, I think it can be somewhat traumatizing and somewhat dramatic to be told that you are not going to be able to wear makeup anymore. I think that is a fact. Regardless of who you are, regardless if you're someone who's worn makeup all your life, or maybe you never wore it, but you thought someday you might, you know? And I think those feelings are valid. So I just want to say, don't feel bad for feeling bad. I was going to say don't feel bad for being bad. Don't feel bad for feeling bad. Or don't feel guilty. Say, "Oh, my problem, you know, this is nothing." In the scheme of things, it's not a big deal. But it can be traumatizing and it can be dramatic and it can be a big deal to you. And if it's a big deal to you, then it's a big deal. So don't ever feel, guilty for feeling that way. I went through it myself. I was like, "Oh, look at the issues," and I'm "Oh, I can't wear makeup." But you know what? It's a thing. Maybe it's a thing to you, and so feel it. Don't have a pity party. Feel it, and then you move on and you do something about it. And what do you do about it? Well, we talked about DIY, right? I gave you my feelings on that. They weren't very good. My last video in this series, we talked about iron oxide free makeup. Now, it's not a ton of it, but it does exist, and it is an option if you want to totally stay away from iron oxide. So you could try iron oxide free makeup. I will post the entire series down below. So that is another thing that you can do. Now, the third thing that you can do, and this is totally, well, all these things are up to you, but whether or not you want to even try this, is you could try regular makeup. Chances are in your favor. The odds are actually in your favor that you are not going to be allergic to everything. Now, with that said, I obviously cannot guarantee it. And you may not even want to try it. I know when I was first diagnosed, the furthest thing from my mind was wearing regular makeup. I didn't think I'd ever want to see it again. But as a little bit of time went by and I stopped using everything and my reaction subsided and I did start bringing things back one at a time, I did try a few things. And I didn't have a problem with anything, to be honest with you, until I got to eye makeup. And there is a theory behind why eye makeup causes most of the problems. It is called the colorspiracy theory, and it's actually been around quite a long time. If you look back in history books, even in the I made it up. It's been around since last year, and I did make it up, but I didn't pull it out of the air. I made it up based on what I could wear and what I couldn't wear, because I know there is some makeup, there is some eyeshadow I can put on, and within an hour I have to get it off my face, and there is some eyeshadow that I have absolutely no problems with, and they all have iron oxide. So what is the reason? Well, in my third video I did talk a little bit about what's in makeup, and I think the reason is this: some formulas, some makeup simply has more iron oxides. Think about it. What's the most pigmented makeup you have? Eyeshadow and lipstick. But with lipstick, there's a lot of dyes in lipstick. So there's never as many iron oxides in lipstick as you'll find in eyeshadow. You don't find that much pigment in blush. You don't find that much pigment in foundation. You don't find that much pigment in bronzers or in highlighters. It's there, but it's not apparent like it is in eyeshadow. Also, your eyes are a very sensitive area. The skin around your eyes is just a very sensitive area. So that is why I think we have the most problems with eyeshadow when you have a nickel allergy. That will probably be your biggest obstacle with makeup. Also, eyeliner. And the reason for that is there's nothing, like, at least in eyeshadow, some formulas do have other things that kind of dilute it. With eyeliner, that's it. It's black iron oxides, and that's pretty much it. So that could also be an issue. I've given up on eyeliner a long time ago. I either use carbon black or I just don't use it at all. So as far as eyeshadow though, eyeshadow is a little bit more complicated because, like I said, there are some eyeshadows, and I know they have iron oxides, but they don't cause me a problem. And why is that? Because the formula is not straight iron oxides. It has other things in it. However, some formulas just have too much iron oxides. So I started a blog, my eyeshadowallergy.com, where I talk about all kinds of makeup on there, nickel allergy related, but I basically test eyeshadow palettes and see if I can wear them as somebody with a nickel allergy sufferer. So today, I just wanted to, like, you know, throw that out there, that wearing makeup may be a possibility. Now, you know, like I said, not everybody with a nickel allergy can wear makeup, but most people can wear some things. And based on the people that I have spoken to and, like, the communities that I have been, you know, involved in online and all that, it seems like most people can wear some things. So, and when I say communities online, I really just mean like posts, other bloggers, and reading through, you know, people's comments and people's ideas and stuff like that. That's pretty much what I mean when I say that. So most people seem to be able to wear makeup. I know I can wear most makeup with the exception of eyeshadows and eyeliner. So today I wanted to take you through some of my palettes and which ones I've had a lot of luck with and which ones I haven't. And the palettes I have not been able to wear may surprise you. It has nothing to do with the brand. It has nothing to do with the quality of the makeup. It just has simply to do with the formula. Okay? So first I'm going to go through some palettes that I have not been able to use. And here's the thing. If you have a nickel allergy, I wouldn't purchase these. I just wouldn't. Now, the ones that I do like and that I can use, I can't guarantee that you will also be able to use them. But at least it's a start. I wouldn't purchase the ones that I can't use. Because if I have a nickel allergy and you have a nickel allergy, chances are you're not going to be able to wear it either. It is going to give you some kind of reaction because it probably has a lot of iron oxides. So I should have pre-planned this, like had these like set out, of course, like where I could just like easily pull them. But no, I didn't do that. So excuse me while I turn my back to you for a second. Okay. These three, these three little Natasha Denona palettes, yes, you heard me correctly, Natasha Denona, gave me some horrible reactions. Especially this one, the new Love, the mini Love palette. Excuse me, this is not the new one. This is the mini Love palette. And the big Love palette, her big sister, was recently on sale for like half price. I think it was $25. Everybody, or was it $32? Because normally these are the big ones are $65. Well, the ones that are bigger than this are $65. They go up from there. And you know, most beauty bloggers, influencers will give you the same story every time they pull out their Natasha Denonas. Oh, I'm not getting rid of any of these. You can't pry it out of my cold dead hands. We've heard all these lines a million times. But basically, for real, I think this formula is overrated. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice formula. But do I think it's so much better than the other ones that are out there? I really don't. Or maybe I am just biased because every time I put on one of these, my eyes blow up. I showed you the picture last time. I'll show it to you again. I'll insert it here. I got this from using the Love palette, as that's why I don't have the... Now, what's funny, though, is I do have the Glam palette. The Glam palette is the only larger palette that I have, and I can wear it fine. So there's something about these there's something in these minis that we just, as a nickel allergy sufferer, I just can't wear. The only shade I can use is in this one, the mini Retro palette. Am I blinding you? I think I'm blinding you. I'm sorry. The Mini Retro palette, this one, Pixie. And it is a beautiful, beautiful shade. I don't have an issue with this shade. Oh, I said it's a beautiful shade. Actually, it's kind of just, well, it's like a shimmer. It's like a neutral shimmer. But there's no way that I would keep this palette. Did I just swatch I swatched the wrong one. That's why. I remember thinking that this was such a gorgeous shade. Well, I mean, it's a shimmer. It's a nice shimmer. It is. But is it worth me using this palette? No. It most certainly is not. I wouldn't keep this palette for that. By the way, I have been asked before what I do with palettes that I can't use. For right now, they're right here in the attic, and I really don't know. This is by no means my collection. It's not. I do want to show you guys my collection. It's going to take more than one video. I have a ridiculous eyeshadow palette collection, and I am probably going to do it around New Year's. And then after that, I'll decide what I'm going to do with all these palettes. Let me know. How do you guys feel about using very, very lightly used makeup? When I say used, I mean like twice, 3 times at most. Let me know how you feel about used makeup, because it will definitely influence my decision about what the hell I'm going to do with all these palettes. Okay, this one, Huda, Mercury Retrograde. This is one of the most beautiful palettes on the planet. I'm telling you. I love this palette. Wait for it. I love this palette. And honestly, if you don't have a makeup allergy or a nickel allergy per se, this is such a, I'm trying to not blind you guys. This is such a, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think on camera. It's a palette that you can do so many things with. Like, you can make so many looks. You can make a neutral look, you can make a pink look, you could use some of these blues over here, and they all blend together. Like, I've seen palettes where there's a bunch of colors, but they don't blend. I'm about to review one on my blog within the next couple of days. Spoiler alert, it's the Ice Cream palette by Glamlight. Anyway, this one, no, it's so good. It's just one of the most gorgeous, blendable, beautiful formulas I've ever seen, and it gave me one of the worst reactions of my life. If you have a nickel allergy, this is not, that is the only case where this palette does not work. It's just, it was not good. I don't have a picture. I don't have a picture of most of them, but this palette was a no. This palette was such a no. But I will tell you the absolute worst reaction I ever had from a palette was last year's Charlotte Tilbury holiday release. I believe it was called Bejeweled? It was beautiful. Like, the packaging was gorgeous. It was all around gorgeous. The formula was gorgeous. Charlotte Tilbury does have a really beautiful formula. I remember putting that palette on. We went out to dinner. And in the middle of dinner, I had to go to the bathroom and wash it off. That's how bad it was. I don't have a picture of that either. I wish I did. I don't usually just, like, snap a picture. Honestly, if I didn't do YouTube back then. I didn't have a blog either. If I did, I would have. To let you guys see. But I didn't, so I didn't take a picture. Okay, here's Morphe. A lot of people don't like Morphe. I don't mind Morphe. Honestly, I think for the price, it's very good. And they make a lot of unique colors. And the formula, while it is not the best, it is certainly not the worst. This is the Everyday Chic. A lot of their palettes look like that. They're like these big ones. Anything that starts with 35, it's because it has 35 shades. Pretty self-explanatory. I thought this palette was so beautiful. When I saw it, I was like, wow, that is a gorgeous cool tone palette. I like cool tones. And there are some very unique shades in this palette. There's some beautiful shades in this palette. I think the formula is fine. This palette is a palette that was like kind of in the middle. Not every shade gave me a reaction. Not every shade did. But enough of them gave me a reaction that I will never use this. I will never use this, and it's a shame. I think this is a really unique, beautiful palette. I do. Oh, the Stone Cold Fox. This was the first palette I ever blogged about. This palette, what stands out to my mind, oh my god, it's filthy. If you looked at this palette, you would think I used it every day for years. It gets so dirty so fast, and it is impossible to clean. I can tell you what I'm doing with this one. I'm tossing it. The packaging was horrible. Like, you can't clean it. And I know a lot of people love this palette, and I can understand why. I think the color story is very pretty, and I think this came out around the Glam palette when Natasha Denona released her Glam palette, so you got like a cheaper palette, and it was beautiful. And the formula was pretty good. I mean, ColourPop usually has they usually have a pretty steady formula. They have a pretty sturdy formula. Like, you can usually depend on ColourPop's formula with very few exceptions. There were some exceptions. Sailor Moon, Candy World, whatever the hell was it called, ColourPop World. Oh, it was like the worst palette I ever had. But this one, again, it was kind of the same thing. Not every shade gave me a reaction, but enough shades gave me a reaction where I will never use this. And the most recent one, and I was really surprised at this, was Norvina. Not only, I have really bad things to say about this palette, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like it, but not only did it give me a reaction, we'll leave that out of it because that's not the palette's fault. That's the formula. That's not the palette's fault. That's not the whatever. What is the palette's fault, or the company's fault, however you want to put it, is this really crappy brush. I mean, if you're used to like Sigma, getting Sigma palettes that come with brushes, or even like those Urban Decay brushes, they're not terrible, but this, like the brushes that you get in Sigma, I used to be like, why don't people like brushes that come with palettes? And then I got this. The bristles actually fell out as I was using it. It's this palette, I used a few colors. I used Celestial and I used Soul, and by the end of the day, they were gone. And then I dipped over here, Summer, Dreamer, Base, gone. Not only that, then, what's not the palette's fault, this reaction. I will show you the picture because this time I did take it. This was very recently. This was only a few weeks ago where I used this palette. And I was going to use this palette to compare it to the Norvina palette. The new one that just came out, the purple one, which I love. That palette's beautiful and did not give me any reaction. See, that's, you just don't know. But yeah, no comparison. No comparison. I think this palette, even if it didn't give me a reaction, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Not at all. And so this is like an example of palettes that have given me a reaction. So you can clearly see we have ColourPop, we have ABH, we have Huda, we have, we don't have Charlotte Tilbury, but Charlotte Tilbury was definitely one of them. Natasha Denona, these are some of the best makeup brands out there. And these are some of people's favorite makeup brands. And they can give you a reaction. So it has nothing to do with the quality of the makeup. I'm just like driving that home. Now let me show you some palettes I can use. Again, I have to turn my back to you. I'm sorry. Okay. This is not the only ones. This is not the only ones, but these are the ones that I have been using recently, like over the summer. So I'll show you these. And like I said, this is not, I don't even think this is an eighth of my collection. It's so bad. Okay, so again, the first one is Morphe. I was trying to do this because I want to show you that you can use some things, I can use some things from certain brands and not from other brands. I keep this stupid thing. I used to always throw these out, but Morphe, they don't put the colors on the palettes. Who was I just watching? Was her name Alicia Dawn? I don't know. Oh my goodness. She has such a great channel, and I will link her channel below. She has an eyeshadow declutter series that took her 7 parts to film. Respect that. I do. And she has some amazing palettes. She has palettes that I never even saw before, and that's saying something because I've seen a whole lot of palettes. And she did, like I said, she did a really great collection video. I'm going to link it down below. I had so much fun watching it. I thought it was awesome. I think her name was, I'm sorry if I'm getting her name wrong. I really am. It just came to me. I wasn't even planning on talking about it, but I think it's Alicia Dawn. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. If you like eyeshadow declutters, you will enjoy this series. Anyway, the whole reason I thought of her is because she took the time on some of these Morphe palettes to actually write the shades. I think it was these palettes. It was some palette that looked something like this, and she actually wrote the shades in. I could never be bothered. I just couldn't do it. So I decided to keep this. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would never keep this stupid thing. But this palette is, anyway, 35i, the Icy Fantasy, and I did use it in this summer a lot, and I actually really enjoyed it. But I have to say that this palette is a wash of color palette, which a lot of people don't like. But I like it. I don't like, if something's like too blue or too purple or too whatever, I won't wear it because it's just like, it's a little too much for me. But when something's like a wash of color, I can wear all of these colors. So this palette, I really, really enjoyed. And it was summer, even though it's called Icy. Believe it or not, that bothered me that it was called Icy and it's a summer palette. That's on me. I got problems. Anyway, this palette, I think one of the reasons I could wear it so well is because it has no pigment. It doesn't have a lot of pigment. But there are palettes that have no pigment and I just don't like. But this one, it did give you a really nice wash of color, and I liked the formula in this one. So if that appeals to you and you have a nickel allergy, this might be something that you can use. It might be. But like I said, I'm sorry if I look weird. I have like a bunch of palettes in my lap. They're all about to fall. What a mess that would be on my white carpet. But yeah, if you like a wash of color, I would highly recommend this. I would. I think it was pretty. I know a lot of people didn't like it. So with that said, let's move into some other palettes. Oh, here's another one. Most people hate this palette, but I love this palette. I love Juvia's Place, first of all. I love Juvia's Place. I am about to do a Juvia's Place unboxing, a mystery box unboxing, in another video. I got it. I just have to film it. And I'm really excited because I love Juvia's Place so much. They were one of the first formulas that I used when I got into makeup. I think there's something very, very special about their formula. I think it is so beautiful. I just love the company. I do. And I think they make fabulous palettes, and they also make fabulous highlighters for dry skin. Anyway, I know a lot of people didn't like this palette, and I can understand why, because I think if you're into Juvia's Place, you might be into some heavy pigmented palettes, and this one wasn't. This one and the nudes one. These are two very unpopular ones from their line. But I like it because I can wear it and it doesn't fall apart like the ColourPop one. I'm sorry, but those 9-pan ColourPop plastic palettes, every time I get one and I open it up and I just like go like this, they fall out. I've had so many bad experiences. I'm going to do a ColourPop ranking probably within the next 2. I'm sorry I keep looking over here. I don't want to get my hair stuck in the candle. I will probably be doing a ColourPop ranking probably in the next month or so, and I'll get more into that. But no, I really liked this. Just by the way, did I even say what this is? This is the Taupes by Julia, and by Juvia's Place. And if you like cool tones and you have a nickel allergy, again, I can't guarantee that you won't react to any of these palettes, but I know I didn't. So it is something that you could try if you're interested. Okay, what else do I have here? I have a couple more. This is by e.l.f. This is Earth and Ocean. This is such a great formula. Honestly, when I first got this palette, I almost chucked it out. Like, I almost decluttered it because I didn't like it when I first started using it, and then it grew on me, and now it is one of my favorite palettes, and I always break it out in the fall. I'm going to do a video about my favorite fall palettes, and this is definitely going to be on it. I don't know if it was made for fall, but the colors are, like, scream fall, and they have some really, like, unique colors in here, like Rock Bottom, this one, Tundra, Fuji Feels. Is that what it says? Feels? I'm trying to read upside down. Like this one right here. They're really unique colors. They don't really look unique in the pan, but when you put them on, they're very unique. And I think this is probably my favorite palette from e.l.f. And I love e.l.f. I really do. By the way, though, those 4-pan palettes, those like $3 palettes, the mini palettes, I couldn't wear them. I could wear one shade in Truffles, and that was it, and the rest of them gave me such a bad reaction. So there you have another example. This one I'm fine with. You just don't know. You just don't know. I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I had a blog about this palette. This is from ColourPop. This is so cute. This is a Star Wars Mandalorian. Do I like Star Wars? I think I saw the first one once. Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't like Star Wars. But this palette is so cute. And I think if you do like Star Wars, you would love this because the packaging is freaking adorable. Now, is he the cutest thing in space? No, he is not. I am sorry. That's Gizmo. But he's close. Oh, I'm sorry. The cutest in the galaxy. I can't read. But this palette is so cute. Cute. It's so pretty. It really is. It's like a green neutral palette, and it's not over pigmented. Again, that might be why I don't have a problem with this. But the shade Right Hand Mando, is that how I'm saying it? Oh my goodness, I'm just shaded. I just swatched it over a swatch. Stupid. But it's just so beautiful. It really is. It's so shimmery. This palette is so beautiful. I think it's really, really nice, and I could wear it, so that's great. And the last 3 I have are actually the one I'm going to show you at the end is the one that I am wearing, and it is my one of my favorite palettes And the other two I've already shown you if you saw my summer best of summer video. And this is what's kind of interesting because this is the Norvina. This is also the Norvina by ABH, but this is like a different line, I guess. This one definitely came out later. This is like her newest palette. The other ones, like the Soft Glam Modern Renaissance, I own those palettes, but I have not used them, so I'm going to be kind of interested if that's the same formula. I think it's the same formula because some of the shades are exactly the same, which I didn't notice when I bought them. This one is a whole different formula. This line is a whole different formula, and I can use it. It's beautiful. This palette is freaking gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I've been using this a lot. I have been testing it. I have not no problems. So it, like you see, you can use something from a brand and you can use use something from a brand. Palette that I can use, all of them so far, is the Sigma palettes. I have honestly never had an issue with a Sigma palette. And I have tried the Corderosa, this one, which is Ambiance, Enchanted, Wild, is it Wild thing? Wild, just Wilds? I don't know. All of the ones that are like this. The only one I don't have is the warm neutrals. And the new ones, the 9-pans, the 9-pan palettes, I have Ivy, Rosy, and I have, what's the really neutral one? Is it Ritzy? I haven't had an issue with any of those. And this is what I'm talking about. Now this is a beautiful brush that you get with the Sigma palettes. Sigma brushes are so good. This palette is perfect. And I've had no issue with it. And then finally, the last palette is the palette that I am wearing. This is the Blueberry Muffin. This is by, of course, BH Cosmetics. This is another perfect palette. It's like mirrored here, so I know it might be blinding you, but I think this palette, I will tell you really quick. Last year, I was watching, like all of us were, we were watching all of our favorite influencers count down their favorite palettes of the year, and they all had the same answer. It was either Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath. Some of them said the Plain Jane palette, which I never used. I don't own anything by that brand. But I know I'm gonna butcher her name. Angelique Nikis. You know who she is. You know who she is without me saying. She chose this one. This was her favorite palette of the year, and she knows makeup. She knows palettes. And I have to say, I get it. I agree 100%. This palette was perfect. If you like these tones, these cool tones, it had everything. I mean, it's mostly, it's like a blue theme, but it's also neutral. It's also neutral. You could do a lot of things with this palette. It was cute. It was not expensive at all. The formula was so beautiful, and I could wear it. It had everything. And I'm going to be doing a video on BH Cosmetics because they used to be my favorite. Well, they're still one of my favorite brands. But I think their recent palettes, I don't think they're as good as the ones that they used to make. Like, they came out with a bunch recently. Like the, look at those white palettes, and they have like sayings on them, so to speak. They're okay, but they're not what they were doing. And they repackaged all of their traveling palettes, and I have to say, I'm not crazy about the new packaging. I don't know. I like a mirror. But, yeah, I think their older palettes are. But, like, when they used to have, like, the Zodiac palettes, and I think their older palettes were a little better. I don't know what's going on. There were, like, the Sweet Shop palettes are beautiful. I can't wear them. They did give me a reaction. Another example. But, I thought the formula was superior. But this palette, Blueberry Muffin, yeah, pick this one up. If you like this, if you like these, this color scheme, I would pick it up. It's really, really pretty. And that's it. That's just, sorry. That's just, I just wanted to, like, kind of point that out and show you, like that you might be able to use some things and not others. Just because you can't use something doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to use anything. I am a perfect example of not being able to wear a whole lot of makeup, and then some stuff I can wear. Now, like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I don't want, you know, I can't say that you'll definitely be able to use these palettes, but they could be a starting point. Any palette that I had a reaction to, if you have the same allergy as me, I wouldn't try it. And you might not react to it, but, you know, I think there's a very good chance that you would. So if you are more interested in learning more about palettes, if you have a palette you want me to try or anything else, please check out my blog, myeyeshadowallergy.com. It's basically all I do there is test palettes and write about them. And I also post other stuff about nickel allergies, and I write about makeup in general and nickel allergies. As far as nickel allergy, that whole blog is about makeup allergies, so check it out if you are interested. On the next episode of this series, I'm going to close it. It's going to be my last one on this series, and then as I come across things about nickel allergies, I will add to it. But for now, I'm going to talk about different kinds of skincare that you can use when you have a reaction, because I know they can be painful, they can be irritating, they're rough. They're rough when you get them, and they don't go away right away. For the most part, they can last a couple of days, they can last a couple of weeks. It really depends. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the skincare products that I use that really, really helped me when I had these reactions. That just eased my skin and made it feel better. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, and if you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, I really hope you found it helpful. I hope you found this whole series helpful if you find that you have a nickel allergy. I know there was nothing really like it when I was diagnosed, and that's the whole reason that I started doing this. So I really do hope that you found it helpful. Please leave me a comment if you did. It would mean a lot to me. It really would. And let me know if you still wear makeup, or if you wear eyeshadow, or what kind of brands that you wear, and if you've tried any of these palettes. I would love to know if you have a nickel allergy and you have tried any of these palettes and they work for you, because then I would have something to my theory. Someday I would love to test the Colorspiracy theory, but right now I am a sample size of 1. So if you have tried these palettes, please let me know, and let me know whatever else you want me to know. If there's anything you want me to try, whatever the case may be, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Kimmie Teresa over Instagram. And that's it, guys. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, bye-bye.